Hi everybody, Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well this very sunny but very cold Monday. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe as we get all excited for the Europa League. But maybe not all of us will be going in terms of West Ham players. Now, as we alluded to in the thumbnail, obviously West Ham, obviously Mr. Jarrod Bowen went off on the game against Liverpool with an ankle injury. The club announced yesterday there was no serious injury after having the scan. But according to Roshane Thomas from The Athletic, friend of the channel, he said that Jarrod Bowen is set to not be available for the next two games, i.e. Seville on Thursday and Aston Villa on the Sunday at home. He said he actually sort of shared David Ornstein's latest column on the Monday, saying, although the club yesterday confirmed that he had suffered no significant damage, it's highly believed that this week's Europa League trip to Seville and the weekend's home game against Aston Villa are likely to come too soon. Obviously, the timing is very, very unfortunate. Obviously, we have potentially our biggest game of the season. Well, hopefully we'll have a lot bigger, but at the moment the biggest game of the season so far on Thursday, and then obviously Villa are playing very well as well, so you want a full strength side against that. But more importantly for maybe Bowen is England as well. Gareth Southgate set to name his squad very shortly ahead of games against Switzerland and the Ivory Coast for the friendlies in 2 weeks' time, 2.5 weeks' time. So it's not necessarily good news all round, but it's not. It's not out for the season. It's going to be 2 games he's missing. So, with no significant sort of injury, significant damage confirmed, Bowen can take a little rest for the next week and return firing all cylinders next week for the return leg of Seville. Obviously, we're all gutted by that, and he's been a fantastic stalwart all season. Although there is some positive news with Declan Rice expecting to recover from his illness in time for Seville as well. So sort of 1 out, 1 in. But particularly with the Liverpool game, when Bowen went off, obviously no Rice starting. We more than held our own. I think we're very unlikely to. We're just unlucky not to get anything, actually, particularly that Fornals chip, the Lanzini shot, Mark Noble's best ever disallowed goal ever. But anyway, so we've got the chat, and we'll talk about Bowen's contribution this season as well. Hammerhead just simply said, Moyes out. Simple. Afternoon, skipper. Don't let that sunny sky deceive you. It's bloody freezing, so it is. Oh, and thank you, Toby. Adam's in. Hope you were well, Adam. After James, afternoon, didn't get the result if we felt we'd reserved Saturday. Yeah, we also walked away thinking it was a bit of a, assumed we weren't going to win. But we all came away really disappointed that we didn't get anything against Liverpool. And by all accounts, talking to a lot of Liverpool fans online and stuff, and a few have messaged me, they'd said that was probably the hardest game this season at home against a depleted West Ham team. And so just goes to show, we sometimes when the chips are down, we put a performance together, and Seville aren't they've got a few injuries as well. We'll talk about that in the preview on Wednesday. So there's a few injuries concerns for Seville as well, and they drew a 0-0 away to Alaves, which wasn't a good result for them really. And yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Safe journey to people who are starting to make their way. I saw today a few people already making their way. Fair play to them. Why not enjoy a bit of sunshine? Andrew, good afternoon to you. Oz, good afternoon to you. Good morning, Wally, for sunny Philadelphia. It's always sunny in Philadelphia. Cross Hammers, hello. Wait, where's my hammers gone? I'm still a member. What? I don't know, Toby. Is this there? Yeah, it is. It's there. I can see it. You're there. Oh, there we go. Make it. Steve, good afternoon to you. Mike, hope you're well. You having a good day? I am, not too bad. Still got a bit of a tickle. Had a great weekend. Thanks for asking. Went to Life Size Monopoly in London, and it was absolutely brilliant. If you're in the London area and you fancy a night out, honestly, it was really good. Had great fun. Good day, Kieran. Hope you're well. Hope you're staying safe. Obviously, the floods have moved over to New South Wales, I believe, now. So hopefully everyone is safe. And Luke, good afternoon to you. Sharky, the team put in a good performance. Just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. That should be like if we were writing a novel about this season. Not a novel, because it's non-fiction. That basically should be what it's called. Just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. The 21-22 season, or Frustration 21-22 season. Hi, Ludders, hope you're well. Mark's in the house as well. That Lanzini chance, Russwood. Oh, do you know what? I'd have top binsed it. You know, one of those shots where you hit it and you know it's already going in before you start celebrating. That's me. Possibly our two most important missing for our most important games so far. I think one's be missing, one won't. Claren Blues, good afternoon to you. GP's in the house. Hope you're well. Deserved more, but couldn't put the round thing in the big white things. It's simple, isn't it? Football is such a simple game. Afternoon, Rob. Hope you're well. After watching the City, I'm glad I didn't support United. They were awful, made no effort. Stell made a good point actually on Facebook, saying it's games like a Man City game. You think we're still not out of this race. We're still not out of this race. Do you know what I mean? A lot of teams got a lot of football to be played. And as I said, Bowen, I know it doesn't seem great at the moment. I mean, for example, let's look. So if you look at Bowen's. So this season, he has been on fire, hasn't he, to be honest. 39 games he's played in all competitions, 12 goals, 11 assists. So 23 goal contributions, I think they called it in together, in 39 games. That's not a bad return, like 1 in 3. No, it's not. That's better than that, isn't it? Better than that. 39, 23 divided by 39. 50, so 60%. So, yeah, so 6% sort of games to goal contributions. So he's critical. He's our top goal scorer this season. He's our top assister this season as well. So it's a huge risk. But and he's played, I think, 5 positions in essence this year across the season, whether it's as a centre forward, whether it's as a second striker, whether it's as a sort of attacking midfielder, which he did sort of Southampton, was playing that sort of AM role. He's played right wing, he's played right midfield, based on however Moyes has set everything going. So yeah, he's integral. But what does it mean for the game against Seville? I mean, how could we, obviously, and that's his heat map, had to get a touch map. There's his touch map. So, heavily influenced down that right-hand side, as you can imagine. For the majority of his games, he's played on the right, but as I said, he's played on a number of positions. So how are we going to sort that out? So if we had, so here's just an idea, me and Matt will probably talk about this a lot more when we do the actual preview on Wednesday night. We've got some good guests actually coming up. We've got some good Miami's 11, not Miami's 11s, but good episodes coming up soon, which we'll talk about in a minute. So, for example, if he goes, I don't know if he'll go, he'll stick with the back 3. He may do. If he does, then, obviously Lanzini's playing well, just been called up to the Argentine full squad. Well, not the full squad, sort of what he got called up to last time, really, I think, where it's like the big squad for the next round of internationals. So congratulations to Lanzini. So maybe Ben Rama could be playing as the second striker, maybe. Vlasic could be playing as a second striker. Or maybe they go to sort of 2 behind Mantonio, I don't know. Maybe they go back to a back 4. And Lanzini, and obviously Lanzini in the middle with Ben Rama on the right hand side, or Vlasic. It's clearly going to be one or the other. or even maybe Ockerflex. Who knows? With Ockerflex, who knows? I mean, for example, we're on at 5 o'clock tonight. We'll be having our Hammers headlines in association with Needs at Mother Brown. One of the stories involves Ockerflex, and so maybe it's a timely story to put in there. Who knows? So make sure you check that out at 5 o'clock tonight. So I don't think they'd throw Ockerflex in, to be honest. So it's going to be one of basically Ben Rama or Vlasic will take that Bowen place. Because I don't think they'll drop Lanzini at all because he's absolutely on fire at the moment. Russ's name comes up twice on those end credits. I had to block the oh well. Just take it. Just take it, GP. I'll have to do another one of them soon anyway. Every copy of Monopoly should be burned. Do you know what? Totally. I hate Monopoly. Joe fucking loves Monopoly. Oh, I despise it. But this was different. This was like Monopoly was just basically the mechanism. There was all these games. You had to go in and do these games to win the stations, and you could build houses. And my team, we did everything. We did free parking. We were in jail, and Joe's team won by it was £100 or 100,000 basically. Oh, gutted. I thought we played the perfect game, and what she did, she'd called it WESTHAM Irons. Because she had the iron thing, so just to piss me off, and she was like, "Hoo, hoo, hoo," and I was like, "Ah." Hi, Jay. I do think we will do Seville. I'm confident. Personally, I think we're going to do them at Argaff. I think Argaff's going to be rocking next Thursday. But I think if we come away with a draw, Seville don't concede a lot, but don't score a lot as well. So, as I said, 0-0 against away to Alaves, which isn't a great result for them. They've got aspirations. They've pretty much got second place sewn up, really, in the La Liga. So they're pushing to try and overtake Real Madrid, really, as champions, and that hasn't helped them a lot. If we crash out of Europa, do we hold some accountability, or do we just go on with it? I think Mills has got away with too much. Who knows, Hammerhead? Up to you. I mean, it's how people perceive it. I mean, I think the fact is we are playing probably the strongest side left in the competition, So, but it's these type of games, isn't it? And that's what I said about the Southampton game. Liverpool was not a bad side to go to play because we usually put in a performance. And it was a performance that we were frustrated. We didn't come away from Anfield with something, having not had Declan Rice and Bowen taken off for our side. That's just weird, isn't it? When you think about it, we literally say it in those terms. Very, very strange. But yeah, I think, as I said, at the moment, I think they had. What did they have? I've done the slides already, but they had something like 8 players out. I think we had 8 players on the Premier League injury list anyway as well. Those 7 now. I think Cresswell was back, so they've got quite a lot of injuries to key players. To be honest, Seville had to play one of their central midfielders at centre back. Grungy. I'm going to have fun, aren't I, on Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday. Grungy, who's a midfielder by name, was playing centre back on Saturday rather. So who knows? Just love watching Roy Keane destroy Man U. Indeed, and did you see that when it panned out and Micah Richards and Jamie Redknapp looking at each other like 2 little schoolboys? Very funny. We should be proud of our boys. We're top 8. Anything above a bonus. See, Stephen, I'm on your page, man. I'm on your page. And as I said, I think only once in our history we've done back-to-backs top 10s. Tell was it back-to-back top 10s? No, it's back-to-back top 6s. Back-to-back top 10s. Back-to-back top 10s once in our history. So, I would take that. I would take that, definitely. What else we got? Spot on, Michael. Man U gave up second half. I was watching a thing. 92% possession they had in the last 15 minutes. I think Man City did, which is ridiculous in a City United derby. And as Danny Murphy said on TalkSport, if Roy Keane was in that team, he'd have got cut the yellow cards. Even just trying to break up the play, there was just no leadership there. You're nuts, mate. Can you remember the noise before West Ham 4-0? If he could grab my wife's tit and I'd still let him get away with it. Fair enough. No, we should be careful. Moyes saved from relegation. Europa Cup stability on a base to build on. Bowen has to be hammered here, no question. Man U are shit. We can still get fifth and Europa again. Both Man U and Spurs were a team of individuals, not a team like us. Indeed, Adam. Keep the faith, my friend. Keep the faith. GP Sky Sports shouldn't be allowed to call themselves news. There we go. Really will stay in summer. We will bring Brozier in. 25 million, I think we've been. I think is it 28 million we've been quoted or something like that. I don't know. It's worth 75 or I don't know, but it's something that we've been been interested about and linked today. He's a great player. Toby has been a member. What chocolate bar have you got? I haven't been to the Co-op, so I haven't got it. Ogaflex can't play in Europe. I know he can't, but I'm talking about the Villa game as well because it's 2 games really, and I think I can see changes happening, but I'm just saying options. So options could include options for Sevilla and for Aston Villa. Maybe Okaflex gets a run out against Villa on the right-hand side. Who knows? Scott, it's 5:30 a.m. in Western Canada. I hope you're well, my friend. Who would you rather have, Hammerhead? Who's going to do a better job? What has Moyes dropped to say? Okay, you want some prick to take over? Why, bro? Why? There we go. Hopefully not Vlasic. Not impressed with him. Not holding up for the free kick that played Salarin. Very true. Our defence has been shattered, yet we are still coping. We would be fools to let Moyes go now. Vlasic would do a better job in the Bowen role than Benny. I think he would do a better job in positionally as well. Benny likes to drift, doesn't he? And he's a creative player, so you wouldn't want him. You want him drifting. I think Vlasic could be the better in terms of positional sense. But it's coin in the air, isn't it? Depends what formation he plays, I think. Because if he plays, would he play with a back 3? I mean, Seville play with a front 3 basically, a 4-3-3 basically. So you would probably want to pad out that sort of. Maybe you'd go to the back 3, pad out the midfield because they've got people like Rakitic and people like that in there who could. Well, Delane's. I'm giving away all the goss, but Delane's suspended, isn't he? I think for the game, and so yeah. I don't know. Risk, that's our family game. Always get sent to prison and has to be the dog. I was actually we weren't. We were the boot. There was the boot, the dog, and the iron. And we were the boot. I'm letting everyone talk to each other. Antonio on the right, flashes up top. That's not going to happen, is it? Boys likes that central, that easy ball out, doesn't he, for the defenders? Easy ball is just a ball down the line for Antonio. And mind the only one slightly worried that Moyes right outset after the game, playing the same players. I'm going to be in the future till I run them into the ground. Well, I think the future is the fact is there's unless he promotes people to the under 23 squad, who's he going to play? You can't get it's no point getting free transfers now, and you've got to play. And he has certain players that he's happy with and he wants to play. And if they're not having sort of training sessions in between, they're going from game to game. As I said, look at the 85-86 season. They were playing a ridiculous number of games and managed to keep that momentum going. I think we need to let Vlasic have a free role in a less important game, even though every game is important now. We could see how he likes to play. Yeah, but I think Vlasic is more. I can see Vlasic as I don't know. Part of me thinks he'll. I think Benny will probably start. I think, but I think I'd positionally, not in terms of who. I prefer Ben Rama as a player, but I think Vlasic would hug that right line, that right side a little bit more better than Ben Rama, who might drift in. So leaving that right side really exposed, like Ben Johnson defensively. And they've got some good players. They have some good players, even though many are injured. Okay, you're probably right. Hates for his lack of quality. Then that's the loyalty and gratitude you show the man who saved our club from mediocrity. Fickled fans. Oh, you tell me a bite. Right, old ding dong. We should have been challenging for top 4 in future if we had signed players. And it's a massive opportunity to miss. We'll be back to mid-table very soon. Let's see, Hammerhead. Let's just get this season out and then let's see. I still can't believe Fornaz didn't score. I know, with that chip. What was going on? We haven't never been in this position in my 50 years of supporting West Ham. Please stop complaining. Moyes has dragged us from the depths of the Prem to a Europa team, indeed. Right. Oh dear, I'm just letting these two talk to each other. Toby and Hammerhead. Fair enough. Afternoon, Simon. Hope you're well. There we go. I expect Champions League football within 2 seasons after a relegation battle, and I'll scream and scream if I don't get my way. There we go. Just let Toby and Hammerhead have a chat. Back 5 against Seville. I think it will be, mate. I think it will be, just because they play 3 up front. So usually that tends to precipitate Moyes' thinking, but we'll see. Would you take a spot in the Europa Conference League, Russ? I would. Oh, I would as well, because I think, it's all about progression, isn't it, really? And I think, with Europa League and Europa Conference, it's good, and maybe even more so the conference, potentially that could be a better way of bleeding in the under-23s, maybe, in European competition. Possibly, I don't know. Obviously, if you win the Europa Conference, you're then in Europa League the following year. In the same way, if you're in the Europa League, you're in the Champions League next year. So maybe we won't. Maybe we win the maybe we win Europa League and be in the Champions League next year. Who knows? Here's hoping. Gunners will get 4th and we'll get 5th. We'll get 5th. Spurs and Man U finish behind us. Just need to get rid of just need to keep rest of the team fit. Indeed, we were very fortunate last season, I think, as well, with the injuries. And this is a little bit reminiscent of last year. We was doing all right. And then Declan, and I know we still performed reasonably well, but it's all knocked us off kilter a little bit. So it's the same thing with what's the name? With Bowen, really, isn't it? But it's only 2 games, hopefully, by all accounts. So hopefully you're back firing on all cylinders next week. Spurs and Man U, the only team I know who would find a way of finishing second in a League of One. So, I mean, you can have all the games in the world in hand, but unless you've got the points on the board, it makes a difference. Palace doing us a favour against Wolves. That extends that 5-point gap again. I know we've still got a game. They've got a game in hand on us, but still, it's that 6 is 6/7. They're breaking away slightly now. We haven't progressed really. We're overachieving when other clubs around us are rebuilding and hitting bad form, and identifying crisis simply when the so-called Big Sick get their act together. Yeah. I know. I know you're spitting facts. I think when we were 4th, I think we were in a slightly false position because the other teams around us hadn't played. Because there's a lot of games with COVID. So I think you think about it realistically. I think with West Ham particularly, we have overachieved. We have, but we've overachieved because we've got the right team spirit behind us. In the same way that Leicester overachieved when they won the Premier League that year. Now they're probably they've had a good couple of years. Now they're playing pretty shit. They haven't really, they're not doing great at the moment. And I think we did. And I think we did overachieve. But let's enjoy the ride while we can. At the end of the day, for me, Hammerhead, it's always been the case as a West Ham fan, get to those 40 points. Get to those 40 points. And the earlier we get to those 40 points every season, that shows progression. So for me, even if the next 3-4 years we finish in the top 10, the top 8, the top 9, that for me is progress. Not Champions League. I'm not, because I think if that's almost a step. I think that's almost a step too far, in all honesty. But I think progression. It's about maintaining consistency. It's not sexy. But if we're in the Europa Conference every season, or we're around those positions, that to me is progression now, and establishing ourselves as a top 8 club. And then after a while, then going to the next station. That's how I would say that, to be honest. But we'll see. Oi, Mandy, hope you're well. Disgusting performance by Moss yet again. Salah doing his dying swan impression time after time, and our players being fouled. Yet he goes the way of Liverpool. Well, it's the greedy 6, isn't it? It's the greedy 6. There we go. I'm just letting Toby and Hammer had a good old chat amongst themselves. Haller was a mistake. Haller selling was a mistake, but Moyes has pretty much been perfect. Well, it's all about formation, isn't it? And I think even with Ben Rama, might not be the right player for this West Ham setup. Not saying he's a crap player. I think he's a phenomenal player, really gifted player. But it seems the way Moyes wants to, a little bit like a round peg, square hole, square peg, round hole, whatever it is. And I think Haller was the same. And I think Haller sort of came out and said that. He enjoyed his time when Moyes was managing him, but it just didn't work. And sometimes things don't work. It's a system or it's a personnel clash. And it's taken Moyes a while to try and get most of the sort of, not the bad eggs, that's the wrong expression, but the Pellegrini signings. Yarmolenko's still hanging around. You've still got Masuaku there, and I said, come the summer, I think we're going to see. We've got a big rebuilding job. Oh dear. Anyway, letting everyone talk to each other. Come on here to moan about Haller, and what do I see? Indeed, don't argue, lads. Well, until we laugh at all these man who travelled all the way to Manchester to get beat 4-man. Is Martial injured? Well, he's been injured since the 21st of February, technically on transfer market. He's still been seen hobbling around, so he could well be out. But we'll see. As I said, they've got quite a few injuries that came out before the Alaves game. But whether they were injuries or whether they're being rested, I think they were probably injuries. Some of them, I think he had quite a scratch side out, I think. So many old-fashioned views from fans, no ambition. Well, I don't think it's ambition. I think the fact is, I think there is ambition. We want to do well, but I think we've tried it before. Do you remember Pellegrini? Let's throw £200 million. That fucking worked well, innit? We almost got relegated. You know what I mean? So I think it's about doing it the right way and building slowly. Not going you can't go from 0 to 100 straight away. You have to work for the gears, and I think we're now starting to work our way through the gears. And sort of, it's taken a while to get here, and I know there's frustrations because of the move and things like that, but I think it's about getting the right pieces in the right place. You can build, as I said, it's an analogy I use all the time. You can build a beautiful apartment, rooftop apartment, but if the foundations are crap, it's going to crumble. And that's the trouble with Pellegrini. We thought we'd throw money in it, it's going to work, and I think we're still feeding off the back of that. We're still suffering from that decision, and it was the wrong decision to take. So I'm it's the tortoise that won the race, not the hare, and I'm happy to be the tortoise for the next few years. That's just me, because I've been in same as you, same as everyone else, been in situations before where we've had such a crap. We've been last minute winners to promote, to stay up, and we've had relegation. This is different. I think, and I know there's frustration. We could have got top 4. We could have gone, but then the other teams had half a dozen games behind us, so it's, for me, I think, we know where we are. We can't compete with the likes of Man City, with Chelsea, with Liverpool on a financial kill. We can't, and we won't do for a while. But just keep qualifying for Europe or being there or thereabouts. You get the European money, you get all the added sponsorship, and then you start building up your ward, and you start bringing in not 1 or 2 players, and and there's gonna be a lot of people leave. As I said, Mark's gone and Kral's going to be going, and whether we keep Ariola or whatever. Lot of rebuilding going to be happening soon, so we shall see. Could have swapped Haller for a striker. Could have done. Okaflex contract. Can't see him staying after that, as Moyes won't give him a chance. Well, wait to see the show I do at 5:00 tonight with the Hammers headlines. There's a story about Okaflex which is very interesting. As soon as someone becomes personal in an argument or debate, they automatically lose. Oh dear, who's getting back? Hammerhead. We're all West Ham fans, isn't it? We all have different opinions. That's the idea of the show, so we can voice them. As long as it's all you say this, you say that, but one has, some people have opinions, some people have opinions, and I sit on the fence. That's what I do. Opinion can be wrong when it's the same opinion all the time, and we're still 5th. Change your record. Okay, fair enough. I wasn't calling you dumb, mate. I was saying your opinion was dumb. I'm not hating. Well, maybe your opinion's dumb too, Toby. It's like it's not schoolgirls. It's not a schoolyard. It's just people have different opinions, and I think particularly when we're not playing well, we're not picking up points. And yeah, we could have invested in January, but we didn't. So we have to get over that now. So it's about, for me, it's about staying behind the team, supporting the team on the pitch. After the, in the pre-season, in the close season, then the debate can begin. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it just brings more negativity. That's the last thing we want. We're up to our boots now in terms of players, injuries, and things like that. So it's about putting together for one last push and then seeing what we can do. A draw would be a great result. I think so. I totally agree. Last thing I want is a conference, but I think it's dangerous. So I think it's still money going into the club. It's still European football, so it still has some attraction. But also, there's still some good teams going there, and particularly, if you win your group as well, and like we did, it's a simpler path to get into the Europa League the following year. All right, lads. Point one: all opinions are allowed. Two: all opinions make sense. There you go. Right, I'm just letting me talk to each other. Lingard is joining summer. We need a few players in. We certainly do. Hammerhead, I love you dearly, but it's not that bad. I remember bad years over years, and this ain't it. Should never sell a striker without getting a striker. Yep, totally agree. Win Europa League, and you get into Europe again. It's not the worst thing to happen. It's not. Sackboy's now I'm bringing back in the summer, keep him on his toes. Lunch for Simon, just to differentiate everything. He's a cheese salad. Got to fit into the wedding dress in a suit. Wedding dress. I don't know, it might be. Wedding suit in a few months' time. Need to beat Spurs? Of course we do. We always got to beat Spurs. I think Vlasic may be better suited to La Liga. Some players just suit. Yeah, indeed. Lingard and Rashford done nothing like Man U, like most Man U teams. They give nothing second half, only 20 minutes half his players, and they don't seem to care. Mark Noble's Nan, good afternoon. We've got Spurs away on the 20th. We have indeed. And before that, an even bigger thing. Myself and John Botomsky will be walking from Wembley to on stadium to the Bowden on the day before, the Saturday the 19th. So if you have a spare pound, ironsfoodbanks.co.uk, and please donate. Also, we will be doing a prize draw. Ding, 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 ding. Prize draws for anyone who donates to the Irons Food Banks Easter egg appeal. And I'll put the link in the chat in 2 seconds' time. So for anyone who will be donating for that, you'll be entered into a prize draw to win a West Ham signed shirt. Signed shirt by the entire, I think it's by the entire first team. So that's not bad, is it? That's not bad. So let me put that link in the chat now. So anyone who donates to that charity, it's in the link now. So anyone who donates to the cause will be entered into a prize draw, and then we'll announce a winner. We'll draw it live, draw a winner, and they win a signed West Ham shirt. So we've got, I think, one about 80 or whatever it is. I think we're doing all right. We're doing all right. But we want to be hitting as much as possible in the next couple of weeks. That's for sure. And we'll do the draw after the walk. Maybe we'll do it like live at the end of the walk. That sounds good. Steak, pie, jacket potato and baked beans. Lovely. Everyone saw the hammer. I do at West Ham get top four. Would love Arsenal to get kicked out of that spot. Yep, they're 7 points ahead of Barcelona. They certainly are dangerous side, and also, they've pretty much got second place sewn up. But you think they would have got a victory against Alaves as well, particularly. Draw would be a good result, certainly would be. I maybe get Noble involved on Thursday. The shout is the important thing. I do not want to concede. They don't score a lot, but they don't let in a lot in either. A lot of dosh to spend on the player. He's not played very much. He certainly hasn't. Amongst our new recruits, we need a top goalkeeper, top centre-back, left-back, and two strikers. I'll take one striker out. I say we need a goalkeeper, centre-back, a left-back, and a midfielder and a striker. Central midfielder, I think. And we'll be talking about one of those positions later on at Hammer's headlines, later on at 5 o'clock. Can't see Moyes playing the youngsters. He'll put Diop and Fredericks as forwards before playing the young. What we got here? Victor Claesson, the Swedish international, says Gareth, has had his contract terminated by Krasnodar. There we go, very good. Despite Messi, he was absolutely quality. He is, and I said he's just been banned. He's been banned by not banned. He's been drawn. He's been called up by the Argentinian side, which is great. Moyes is a blinding manager. He knows what he's doing best. I've seen in my life. Got a proven striker. Get a proven striker. Will be comfortable top yearly. Some players have taken a season to break in. Bowen, for example. I mean, Bowen was the substitution. I mean, I know Ben Rama is the most substituted player in the Premier League this season. Bowen was it last season, really. So we'll see. Did you hear about Neighbours getting cancelled? Yeah, indeed. We certainly did. How bad? Do you do you think we would have sacked John Lyle if he was top six? Well, actually, you look at John Lyle. I mean, there was some. I mean, Nigel Khan did a great shout the other day. He was looking at when we did the. I can't remember what he was doing. We was talking about this, and he was saying that there was times in the sort of late '70s where he could have gone. And he was given this sort of prolonged period. I mean, don't forget after 85, 86, we almost went down the following season. So, it was different then. I think, it was a different time. And so, here it's the money involved in football and stuff. Managers aren't really given time to build. And so the ones that do seem to have success eventually, but it takes time. And as you said, we could have, I remember how many countless times we had, and it was always. I remember with West Ham, there was always a period where we would, if we won, we'd get to seventh. We never seem to break that sort of seventh duck. And I remember years and years and years. We can, if we win this game, go to seventh. It's like great. Now it's like it's gone up a step. So I know it's frustrations because we could be in Champions League, but maybe that's a step too far for us this season. I want us to build slowly and build a base and build a team and build a squad and build a club. We want to rebuilding the club from the ground up, really, in terms of the academy, getting the right coaches in, get a lot of ex-West Ham players involved as well, keeping that momentum of West Ham, what it means to be a West Ham player with the youth team, working your way up, getting the recruitment set up, getting the analytics set up. This is stuff that's should be relatively 1.0, but we haven't had it done. And now we're doing it. So we're sort of building it up, and it's taking time, I agree. And I know it's can be very frustrating. Can we go back to guessing your crisps? I'll bring some crisps in, will do. We're all West Ham fans here. We are indeed. Has Krasinski got a lot of money invested in Russia? We'll be talking about that as well in the Hammers headlines later on. So make sure you check that out. My dog's going absolutely balmy. You say tomato, I say tomato, potato, potato. Shake hands and piss off. There we go. Gonzo from Hammer says Pringles aren't crisp, but they're a maize-based snack, aren't they? So he's technically right. Bashing my opinion, even though I explain myself. I'm letting you two talk. Conference is progression for us. Maybe a trophy as can win. Indeed, we haven't won a trophy. We haven't won a trophy. So there we go. I'm letting them talk. Are we making money from EL Russ by the time they pay for travelling and hotel? How much we actually make? I don't know how much we're actually making, but. The money involved was, I remember. Let's have a look. I remember it was a sizable sum. Europa League money prizes. So we got for group stage participation 3.6 million euros for each win, 630,000 for a draw, 210. Group winners, we won 1.1 million euro. So that was about, I don't know, off the top of my head, about 5 million, something like that already. And so if we, so then we already get so as well as 1.1, we get 1.2 million for last 16. So we're on probably made about 7 million quid, I reckon, roughly. So there we go, top man. When you get to late 30s and your balls touch your floor, late 30s, Jesus. A bit late for that. I am very thick, hence I'm a West Ham fan. Would you complain if John helped us top 8? Will you be up to do that walk? I have no idea. It's a long time. We'll have fun. I'll have fun. That's the point. Must be so having their contracts free up free agents and cheaper players. Ryan Frederick on the right wing may work. I remember keeping Grealish quiet. Good shout. I haven't mentioned that at all. Afternoon, Neil. Hope you're well. 11:35 Monday night. Very good. Everyone loves Neil. Good to see you. Afternoon, Neil. Been watching the Hammers since the 70s. This is one of the best sides we've had. Fair play. If you don't rate Moyes, the facts back him, and you don't have to do, and that's fine. But you're always going to get a pushback from fans that are grateful for it, and you are, and you will do. It's like I think there's frustration because maybe there's a certain group, a certain set of fans who want to be in the Champions League and we should be in the Champions League because we were in this position and we didn't progress and we didn't buy players in, and I get that totally. It is frustrating. But there's another sense of fan who said, right, well, we're a cup team. We're never really going to be competing with the top 6. I agree with that as well. Understand that. I'm sort of in the middle a little bit. I'd love to win a cup. I'm 40. I'm 41 this year. I've never seen West Ham win a decent trophy apart from the Betway Cup and the Intertoto Cup, of course. But I'd love to see us win a trophy, but I want to see us in Europe as well. And I think the fact is, you got, for me, I saw Europe as like this year. I honestly saw it as a bit of a jolly, as a thank you to the fans, rather than necessarily us progressing. Now it's getting serious, and we've actually played quite well in the group stages. We won the group. We're playing Seville. Like it's really exciting to see loads of people out there going out to Seville, enjoying the game, and that's what it should be about. It's about memories. It's about memories, and so hopefully it's something which people talk about for a long time, and that's what I want. That's what I really want for West Ham, is to have memories that people can talk about. Because that's what it is. I mean, we talk about the 85-86 team. We finished third. We didn't win the league. We finished third that year, and they're revered in the same way that, arguably maybe even more so than maybe the FA Cup winning sides, the European Cup winning sides as well. And so for me, it's, whereas, when we won the Intertoto Cup, that team, that no one remembers that team much. Obviously, remember the individuals, but they're not revered. They don't have their own knights named after them. And that's the same, I think. That's what this team needs. This team needs something. They need something to cement themselves as a modern day memorable squad. And that's what I really, really want. Right, I'm feeling hammerheads on many fronts, but true long-term success for us needs time, patience. And that's exactly the key. That's exactly the key. WHG54. We could have spent 50 million pounds on a striker. The money was there in January, but what if he turned out to be an absolute pup, and then he never scored, and then people go, "Oh, we bought a striker. We bought a striker, but it was shit, and he didn't, and he disrupted the team." And Yeah, but I know this is like hindsight and stuff, but for me, it's like I've seen personally within the club what happens when a team gets relegated. What happens within the club, not the team, but the club, when Betty the tea lady has been sacked, and this person. Football clubs, the lifeblood is the people that work for them, and so you have to have so the team have to be successful and have to qualify and have to stay up and things like that. So, and then hopefully that means you can bring more people on and more. And so that's what I want. I want this club to succeed, not just the team on the pitch, but the club to succeed. The under-23s are doing well in the PL2. The under-18s are doing well. You've got West Ham women. It's about success across the club, because success breeds success. So yeah. Moyes frustrated. It does me too, but I know the grass is always greener. We've seen it. Pellegrini. I mean, just look at Pellegrini. Just donated. If he won the shirt, I'll give it to Scott Venn as my best man present. Thank you very much. Jehovah's Witness in the bottom. There's the dog barking. Yeah, it's my dog's barking. We're still in Europe, still in the Prem. What do you think is achieving? Winning a trophy, because it's the case. Only one team can win a trophy each. Only one team can win the FA Cup each year. Only one team can win the Premier League. Only one team can win the Carabao. And that narrows it down, because it's not usually us. Right, everyone's talking to each other. But we've got to see. Name a team that has achieved more in Moyes in the short term. Name a better side and a better manager in your lifetime. What we got? Leicester City and Claudio. Well, Leicester City. The base of Leicester City was Nigel Pearson beforehand. In all honesty, he set up that team, and Claudio came in and had a play. Right, anyway, I'm just letting you talk to each other. We should be buzzing this week. He said we should be buzzing. He said, this is exactly the point. Let's be the 12th man. Let's stop arguing and all get behind the team. Exactly. Leicester had a lot of luck. They did, and we talk about us having a lot of luck getting in the right position. Leicester had a lot of luck. They had a shit team. It's really only Spurs were the only really team who should have won the Premier League that year, and they should have won it. But there we go. Memories in football are so important. My most important memories when exactly. It's not about money earned in Europa. It's the advertising and added fans. Indeed, you're totally right. Is there any news on Yama? Is he back? I don't know, to be honest, ladders. I do not know. But with the signings, we could have put ourselves more ahead. We could have done, but we didn't. So it's like we can't do nothing about it now, Hammerhead, can we now, really? So, and I mean, Ranieri did an absolute great job at Watford as well, didn't he? So, talk about the right manager at the right time. He did absolute crap at Watford. So yeah. But you're right. We could have done, and we didn't. And so that frustrates me, but there's nothing I can do about that now. What I can do is get behind the team and then see what happens in the summer. I trust the process, and that's what I do. And I know it frustrates people that I'm so yay West Ham, but I am. I always have been because I've been through the shit. I've been not as maybe some people. But I've been through relegation. I've been in the Championship. I've been, where I am I going to be and am I going to be at the ground next? Am I going to be working there next year because we're relegated? And that's just me as a personal thing, but I know the effect it can be. So that's what it's important in my. When they do end up going back into mid-table and drifting, well, look at Leicester. Look at Leicester, how poor they've been playing this season, and Brendan Rodgers is still in charge. Received my Ninja blender, made my own smoothies. Nice. Mrs. Butter wants to get those Ninja air fryers, but I've had enough. The following season, Leicester were naff and Ranieri got out, and then the team. Exactly. So Leicester had a really good season, and that's what we've always done. We've had a good season, shit season, good season, shit season, and I've gone, until last season, which was our best season, for a while. Our best season before that would have been the bowling season, and then we had 4 or 5 years of shit. Same as when we did the bowling season, great season, but then we had about 3 or 4 years of shit. Really, until maybe the Championship. Then we had about 6 years of shit until the FA Cup. Then we had about 6 years of shit, and so it's always like that. So that's not what I want. I don't want to be top of the league one year and the next year worried about relegation. I think that's what a lot of people wanted. They win Europe, great. Next year we're going to probably go down. Nah, not what this team is about now. It's about regularly finishing top 8. That's progress for me. 4 confirmed injured. Oh yeah, we were talking about them. Yeah, they're already injured. Compared to Aaron Grant, Moyes has made a million steps forward. Who are we going to get from Watford when they go down? Dennis, good shout. I've seen Mike and TT play football, so I'm happy. Exactly. Christ, I remember. No disrespect to, I love Jonesy, but I remember we played Leeds. We lost 3-0. I think it was on a wet Wednesday in Leeds at Wet Upton Park, and we had Mike Newell and Steve Jones up front. And we were absolutely, I don't think we had a shot on target that day. Has got us punching above our weight without the mega bucks from the Middle East or Russian. It's difficult for any team to compete. Indeed. Bono, yeah, Bono is Seville's backup keeper. He played on Saturday. Always look at the bright side of life. Man, you're crap indeed. Some people ask our full. So if West Ham fail, they're not so disappointed. Robert, I think that's me. That's always been me because I'm used to disappointment. Christ, I remember my first ever game at West Ham. 30 seconds in, the opposition scored. So I've literally been downtrodden with 30 seconds. All the, you turn up and I got the hat and a scarf and I had my sausage roll and my Diet Coke and I was all ready. 30 seconds and Oxford United scored. Then my granddad turned to me and said, "You've got a lifetime of this, son. Get used to it." And I didn't believe him, but now I do. So there we go. Been watching the West Ham since the 60s. We used to capitulate against every other team, against opposition. I've experienced the yo-yo years and the cup winning times. Nowadays, the mentality is different. It's totally different, man. Totally different. Yes, Crossham, I'll promise you I'll do that thing today. I promise you. Sorry, Friday was right off. I'll get that done for you today. I promise you. I'll send that thing for you. I do apologise. Crosshammer won a half top. We did a draw to win some Just Eat vouchers. Can we sign Lingard, or is this done now? I think we officially sign him in his last month of his contract to run out in the UK. I think so. But I think it's pretty much a done deal, I reckon. It's good to see Kieran. It is great to see Kieran, man. Villa warming up nicely for when they play us, indeed. That's in Seville. I think actually Villa, because they're a form side at the moment. They're the ones I'm worried about. What a heartwarming story. I long for the day to say that to Maganda. That will be probably in about 40 years' time. Exactly, you see. So and that's why I am the way I am, Hammerhead. That's why I am always very half glass full. Because literally 30 seconds into my first ever game, they conceded. And that sort of basically set me on that level kill. I've seen relegation internally within the club twice. And obviously, I know what can happen, and I know the horribleness about it. So that's for me. It's all about maintaining solidarity. It's about maintaining a solid base. Hitting that 40 points by January as a minimum each year, because otherwise it's It can be awful. Sorry for hijacking the chat. No, no, at all. No, at all. It's great. The fact is, you're both two passionate West Ham fans, maybe on either side of the spectrum. And that's it. We've got a spectrum of fans here. It's not all one, and that's, some places it's all one way. It's all one way. That's not what we try and do here. We try and get people talking from both sides of the argument. I can't have grandkids or kids. A pit bull bit my knob off. Well, there we go. Thank you very much, GP. So you're still going on, mate? No, you're not. We're just doing. None of this chat. Was the hot dog good though, Russ? The hot dog. Oh yeah, it was a sausage roll, and actually it wasn't a sausage roll. I tell you, it wasn't that. It was a burger from the Burger Hut on the outside the East Stand. Do you remember the little cubby hole? I think I went for a Terminator or Humdinger or something like that. We've moved on. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's almost like an afterthought now, Bonnie, and that's what it should be, man. That's what it should be. It should be like that. What we got here? GP, so many questions indeed. Paul Hilton, David Kelly, and Mike Small. Shudders. I trained with Oxford Youth, Maxwell Days, Great Days, Aldridge Houghton, former West Ham player, and Joey Beecham. There we go. Indeed. So in terms of what's coming up the rest of this week, so tomorrow night, we've got Hammer coming on, ex-Hammer, great friend of the channel, big fan. We've got Scott Minto coming on to do a live Q&A, so feel free to come on. We'll be live from hopefully 9 o'clock. Hopefully Scott will confirm this back in. He was maybe last week, but he was a little bit busy with doing his punditry stuff. But Scott made over 60 appearances for West Ham in that sort of that heyday. The last time we finished, that Redknapp era, that 98 to 2003 period from Benfica as well. So we've got Scott coming on, and then I'm doing then Anton's, instead they're all buggering off to Seville, so I'll keep the fort down, don't worry about that. So we'll be doing the preview on the Wednesday night, and then we'll be live 5:45 kickoff UK time, don't forget that, or 12:45 for our US cousins on the East Coast. So we'll be live from about 5 o'clock, and maybe on the Wednesday, the preview, we'll try and loop in Anton and the guys who are over in, who are over in Seville, that's it. It was a small meal for a pit bull. After that, I think we'll get at least a draw. I think we will, mate. I think we will. Any chance of a Moyes in or Moyes out? Not yet, Toby. But you can have your own little poll, but not on it. Big Scott Minto, indeed. We'll do score predictions for the actual preview on Wednesday. 1-2, indeed. 2-1, yeah. 0-0. Then we're doing 3-0. Who said I was? Anyway, guys, I've got to go because I need to go to the toilet. This isn't a cast pennant top. This is a Route 66 top. So this was like claret and blue little thing. I had a cast pennant top on Friday with the little that's a Cas one. This is a Route 66 clothing, I think they're called. You can tell it's a Monday, exactly. Everyone's not happy about Mondays. Monday. Oh dear, so good to me. Anyway, my peeps, thanks very much for joining us. Don't forget, 5 o'clock we'll have the Hammers headlines. We've got a story about Okaflex, we've got a story about Danny Kudrinski, and we've got a story about a new another player we're interested in, a midfielder from Lille. So hopefully you'll join us all for that. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Maybe consider becoming a channel member, hitting the join button here. We will be doing soon a prize draw for members soon, so where you could win a nice prize. So just to mark your card if you're considering becoming a member. But we like to thank all of them at the end of each of our channels, each of our shows. So take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Come on, you irons, and watch for GP's name, who appears twice apparently in here. Take care. Bye bye.
It's like a family tree, part of you and